up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up? It is me, and I am LTeddy27. We're back for another review. This is going to be our review for Greenleaf, Season 5, Episode 2. Oh, dear God. Why am I having such the hardest time lately with the titles of these episodes? Listen, it'll be over here somewhere. I'll put it over here somewhere. The title of the episode, it'll be up here. I don't know. But we're back, and I actually liked this episode better than the season premiere. So let's get right down to it. We start off with Jacob at the storage unit. Jacob is going through, all of Mac's old files and belongings to see what he can find out about this will that Carissa keeps threatening him with. And y'all know Carissa is a whole ass mess. She's a whole mess. She's a whole mess. It's good coffee, y'all. Good coffee. Anyway, Grace is down to the hospital, okay? We find out right away. And like I said last episode, I said, wait a minute. He can't be dead because there's not enough blood. And sure enough, he's not dead. He's still alive. I knew. I said, wait a minute. For him to be dead, have to be a whole lot more blood down there than what I see. But he's still alive. They don't, he done went into surgery. They done sutured up all of his wounds and everything. He's in ICU recuperating. Of course, this is attempted suicide. He's going to be Baker acted, meaning he has to be kept against his will for at least 72 hours and go under psychological observations and treatments and stuff like that. Grace then finds out from the doctor, hey, boo, hey, honey, hey, doll baby. Don't come up in here thinking that you have any rights that you can force your way into this good hospital, because he's an adult and you're only going to see him if he wants you to see him. Sorry. Y'all hold on. I don't think my light is bright enough. Y'all know what? This whole video today is a whole mess. I am a whole mess, ain't I, y'all? Okay, that's better. But anyway, one time for editing or not even editing. Whatever. I'm gonna laugh at this video later. Hopefully y'all are laughing too and enjoying my reviews, okay? Alright, so let's get right back down to it. So then we see James and May at home. They ain't got married yet. They have not got married yet. So James is still wanting to get married. May is like, listen, it's way too much going on right now. We ain't got time to be talking about marriage and so forth and so on. Noah is in town. Grace tells them that Noah is in town. Because Grace comes in and Grace says, yeah, Noah's in town. And maybe like, oh, well, we get to see him. And Grace says, well, I don't know if she, I don't know, she did. Grace didn't really answer whether or not she'd be able to see him. But she told him that Noah was in town because of what was going on with AJ, and that, he was committed to trying to, see if they could help AJ or whatnot, see what they could do. But you could tell Grace isn't feeling Noah like that this time. I don't know why. I don't know why she up on her high horse now, because you trying to act like you've been there for him and like you done did all that. Baby, you wasn't there either. You're a Johnny come lately, just like he's a Johnny come lately. So if you can, come right in and try to be yourself up all his life, so can Noah. I'm just saying. Anyway, May goes, Charity comes in. And Charity is very Grace is very short with Charity. Charity tries to talk to Grace. Boom. We ain't got the type of time. See ya. She was real short with Charity. She was like, girl, I ain't seeing it for you like that. And nobody is. And why would they be? May goes in on Charity, okay? May holds nothing back. Y'all know May. May, she don't fuck off. May said, listen, you better go your butt over there. Nobody ain't here for you. May goes in on Charity, and listen, I'm here for it. Nobody cares about your little feelings, Charity. Nobody cares. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Anyway, Zora and Carissa are folding clothes and talking. Carissa reminds Zora, in the light of everything going on with AJ, that if you want, you could always feel free to talk to me. If you're going through some things, just know that I'm here for you. You always can talk to me and everything. Jacob comes in, and apparently there's a meeting that they have to go to with the attorney. Zora kind of alludes to knowing that they're going to get a divorce or whatnot, and she believes that it's Jacob's fault because she knows that Jacob has been caught cheating in the past. Then we see Darius calls to check in on Grace and see how she's doing this, and see what's going on with her. She tells him about AJ's attempted suicide. And, he's definitely feeling bad for her and so forth. And the next thing we know, we see them. They're going to go see this pastor. Now, the pastor, if I'm not mistaken, is the same pastor from last season when Harmony and Hope, or was it season 3? Either last season or season 3, when Harmony and Hope first came in, and yeah, it was last season. If you remember, there was this white church that was struggling, and Bob and them had this plan for the white church to merge into Calvary as they were transitioning into Harmony and Hope, and they got the white pastor. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that they convinced the white pastor not to do it, not to to keep his own church and not to merge with them. But I remember him from last season. So anyway, they go over there to talk to him, and Grace mentions but he doesn't give them any information. He basically tells them, listen, I don't want to talk. I ain't here to talk to you. You can take your little journalist friend and you can go on. Grace tells Darius that Noah's in town. And Darius feels some kind of way because even though he said, oh, it took him a long time to get over Grace, he ain't over her. He still like her. He's still hiding for her body. Apparently, Grace got some good box. And baby, he wants to beat that box in again, okay? Anyway, she tells him that Noah's in town, and he feels some kind of way. You can tell he don't like the fact that Noah's in town because of Grace and Noah's history. I can't say that I blame him because, I mean, who wants to hear that? He's probably afraid that Noah's going to start banging Grace's box out again, too. Sure. Anyway, we see May, and no, the next thing we see is Sophia. This trick is on the phone begging, pleading. I mean, she seems so so thirsty and so desperate. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Sophia, get your life in order. You should not be calling no man. I don't care how good the dick is. It ain't because he all that fine, because he is not all that cute in the face. Maybe he got a nice body. Maybe he has dick of death and cock of doom. But baby, it ain't enough for you to subject yourself to basically being on the phone begging him to answer the phone and take you back. Girl, get your life in order. Anyway, child, a mess, a damn mess. Next, we see May and James. They go to look at this old club of Mavis's, and apparently Mavis gave this club to Grace for Grace to have. And so they're going to use this club and turn it into their new church. That's how they're going to start off. So they go in there, and May is being May. May is real bourgeoisie, okay? May ain't here to be slumming it up with all this. May say, listen, all of this, because James is in there looking at all the pictures on the wall, talking about old times, saying that, oh, remember they was going to turn this place into a museum because of all of the great black, artists that came through here? May ain't here for it. May say, tear this whole down. Tear it all down. Tear this bitch down, okay? Shall tear it all up. We'll start from scratch. James says, don't we need to call Mavis and tell Mavis that we're going to tear the whole thing down and rebuild it? She was like, not if she gave it to Grace. Isn't it Grace's now? James says, but I'll call her anyway. So then Charity goes over to Harmony and Hope, because when Charity left, after May went off on Charity earlier, Charity says, listen, I'm going somewhere where people actually like me. Girl, she gets over to Harmony and Hope. Girl, they had a good trick for her. Girl, they were ready and prepared, okay? Girl, she gets to Harmony and Hope, honey. And baby Judy done swept through, honey. Took everything out Charity's office and said, oh no, this is my office, boo. Done started the girls painting the office, honey. Baby, you can't have no parts of this good office no more. Run your ass over there. Keep it moving. She goes in to talk to some assistant lady. The lady says, oh, Phil authorized this. She goes in there to Phil. Phil says, well, that is traditionally the office of the first lady. Girl, we about to tear this whole down in a week. The fuck you mean, office of somebody? All this shit finna be tore down. He wasn't here for it. He was like, well, she feels like she needs to have ownership of something. And Charity says, yeah, ownership of you. Don't nobody feel bad for you, Charity. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Don't nobody feel bad for you. You're getting no sympathy from over here, Charity. None. Anyway, Noah, Grace goes to the hospital, and who's waiting in the lobby? Noah. Now, it's so interesting to me because if you all watch my channel, you know I'm currently doing daily retro reviews of Noah's Ark as we lead up to the 15th year reunion. It's so weird seeing the actor Benjamin Patterson now 15 years after he was on the show Noah's Ark, because 15 years ago he was young and suave and you know real fine. Now he's mature, suave, still real fine. You see a little gray. Is that right? Oh, you see a little gray at the temples. I'm not sure if that is if they did that just for the show or if he's really graying like that. But whatever it is, he's still sexy. Still sexy. About time they found somebody on the show that looks decent, because y'all know we have a void in terms of attractive men on this show. Dear God. Anyway, Noah tells Grace that his wife wants a divorce. He's out of there. He done left there. He done moved back in town. He stayed with his mom while he figures out where he's going, why he finds himself a place to stay. AJ, the nurse, doctor, or whoever comes out and say, listen, he don't want to see y'all right now. Both of y'all can go on home. He's not here for y'all. Of course, they both are upset about that. We then see Zora and Sophia. I'm sorry, y'all. Last week, I could not remember Zora's name to save my doggone life. Zora and Sophia are talking. Child, they make up. Okay, Zora's looking for some playlist that, no, I'm sorry. Sophia's looking for a playlist that Zora gave her sometime before so she could give it to AJ to cheer him up. And they make up over that. Okay, they make up. Zora was like, child, I was sick of being mad. How the makeup started is Sophia let it be known to Zora that she had her cherry popped. Okay. Zora then was like, wait, what? This whore only made up with Sophia because she wanted to hear the story. She wanted to know how the dick was and how the stroke game was. I promise you that's the only reason. She needed to hear that story. She wanted to know all about the dick. Why? Probably so she can get her a piece too. This is Greenleaf we're talking about. This is Zora we're talking about. Child, don't be surprised if you don't hear about Zora going to go get her a piece of basketball player too. Anyway, back down to Harmony and Hope. Phil is going over some issue they got with some ramp or something. I'm not sure if it's a wheelchair accessible ramp or something down to the gym or whatever they're going to be at. They're going over some blueprints and talking about what the contractor needs to do this, that, and the third. And that they need to get it done ASAP. Judy comes in basically doing everything she can to get under Charity's skin. Kissing all up on Phil, this, that, and the third, making all these remarks and so forth and so on. Charity then tells her, well, you know, he's really in love with me and he's only marrying you because your father's making him. Baby Judy reached on back into her good scriptures and gave her one more nasty scripture from Proverbs and then added an F-bomb in the middle and said, girl, I don't see it for you, honey. Girl, don't nobody care about you. Keep it moving. Keep it moving, honey. Girl, Judy's not here for Charity, and we do not care. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Nobody cares about your little feelings, Charity. Anyway, James calls Mavis. Mavis, I don't know if she's out of town or out of the country or whatever. Somebody answers the phone at Mavis's new club or whatever that sounds like they're not from here. They can't. They tell him to hold on. They put James on hold. He said, well, tell him it's James. Child, they don't care about you. He tried to pull right. They do not care about who you are. Baby, she didn't get to the phone fast enough. He hung up the phone. He went online to look up her, and when he looked up Mavis, if I'm not mistaken, the websites were in another language. I don't think they were in English. When I tried to read it real fast, it didn't look like they were in English, which gave me, further inclination that she's probably out of the country somewhere. But they paid him no mind. Noah and Grace are leaving the hospital, and Noah talks to Grace because Noah is hot. Listen, Noah got a hard piece of dick. Noah need to get him some cooch. And Noah looking at Grace like, listen, we need to be a family, and we need to do this for AJ. No, bitch, you need somewhere to put your hot piece of dick. And that's the only reason that you want to get with Grace. And Grace got a hot box, and a hot dick and a hot box makes a great combination. So you will cloak it around being a family again and wanting to get with her again when really you just want you a piece of that hot box. Okay? Anyway, Grace tells him that, listen, boo, you can't just sweep on in here and think that you're going to automatically be a part of his life and like everything going to be okay. And Noah reminds her in those short terms, no, bitch, that's what you do. And that's what you did. And she got all up in her feelings. But boo, you can't be in your feelings, Grace, because he's right. You swooped right on in with AJ and thought you was just gonna automatically be the savior and all. Exactly what AJ's doing. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Get your life in order, Grace. After that, he tells her, listen, I'll see you tomorrow, boo, same time, same place. Which reminded Grace, you can't get rid of Noah like that. He's the father, just like you're the mother, and y'all are attached for the entirety of AJ's life. Or until y'all die. Whichever one comes first. Until death do y'all part. Somebody's death. AJ, his, or yours. A mess. May makes it back home from going to go look at Mavis's club or whatnot. Grace is sitting on the steps, okay? Grace is sad. She tells Mavis all about what happened at the hospital. Mavis gives her words of comfort and solace and says, listen, I understand, and this is how I make it through. You know, every day I go down and I look at Faith's grave, and this is how I try to get over it, and this is what I do, this, that, and the third. Charity comes home while they're talking, interrupting them, begging them to help her out with whatever the hell she got going on down there at Harmony and Hope. Baby, Grace looks at her. She looks at her. Nah, boo. No, bitch. No means no, and yes means no. Gets up and hightails it on back into the house. She don't want no parts of Charity. Charity sits down with May. May looks at her like, girl. You over here hollering about your little problems. We got real problems over here. Real women problems. You got little girl problems over there, which you caused on yourself. So don't come over here looking for us to help you with problems that you caused on yourself. You made your bed, boo. Lie in it. We then see Zora comes in. She confronts Jacob and Carissa about where y'all been and why y'all didn't tell her. And I know y'all getting a divorce and y'all couldn't even tell me. I need to know. You know, she goes in on them about that. She thinks, of course, it's Jacob's fault because of Jacob's history and Jacob's past. Baby, we were then introduced to a new and wonderful term that we must use from here on out. Why Jacob told Carissa? Because Carissa tried to tell him about, he said, well, should I go and tell her the truth? He was like, why? Because you made me go all these 20 plus years of cheating on me. And he was like, wow, you trying to make me feel bad while you over there taking your little slut meds? Slut meds. Bitch, when I tell you, when he said slut meds, bitch, when I tell you I died 3 days, I had to pause. I had to pause the show when he said slut meds because it was so hilarious to me. So, slut meds. A mess. Anyway, Carissa tells him, listen, go on over there and tell her if you want to, and I will go on over there to the police station and show them this goodwill and have them call up your daddy and your mama, and they'll get down to the bottom of it. Because Dick was like, you don't even know if that's a real will. She said, I don't care. Let them figure that out. In the meanwhile, they're going to call your mama and your daddy and fuck with them and get on their nerves. What you want to do? You know, Carissa got a brass spare ball. I know, you know, we've never liked Carissa, even from season number 1. So she's over there feeling her puss, okay? She's feeling her puss, honey. Baby Carissa is in her element, being the villainous evil bitch that she is. That's her wheelhouse. That's what she does. She even has the look of an evil person. Anyway, Sophia gives Grace the playlist of music to tells her, can you drop this off to AJ? And Grace reminds Sophia, he don't want to see us. He don't want to see me nor Noah. So I can't even go drop it. You got to go drop it off yourself, honey. Ain't nothing I can do for you. Charity comes in there. And this is the greatest part of the episode, y'all. Charity comes in there and she says, and Grace is like, what? Girl, what? She's like, here, I want to give you something. What, girl, what is it? Just open it and read it. She opens it and reads it. She's like, that's a letter that I wrote when I lost baby Eden, and da-da-da-da. And Grace starts reading the letter, and Charity's over there crying, and this, that, the third, and getting all, and Grace reads the letter and closes it, says, and convinces to go in. She like, it would be you that find a way to make what I'm going through and flip it around and make it all about you. Basically said, bitch, we're not here for you. I don't care about your little tears. Get your monkey black ass the fuck out of here and keep it moving, honey. We don't want no parts of it. Take your ass on. Don't cry for me, Argentina, because I'm not here for you. I don't see it for you. And girl, go find you somebody to play with. Go find you some traffic to play in, because we're not here for you. I was so here for Grace when she went off on Charity. I was here for Grace. I was here for all parts of her. She went off on Charity, and I was here for it. Charity needed it. She and that ain't the end of it. She needs more people to go off on her. But I was here for it, honey. I was here for it because Charity did try to make that all about her. She did try to make it all about her. Honey. We did see James goes in there to May and he tells May that he called the contractor and got estimates on renovations that they're gonna need to tear down that club of Mavis's and rebuild the church. May asked him right away, "Did you call May and see if she was okay with that?" James said, "Child, I don't need her. We don't need. I ain't calling her." We then see he talks to her about the wedding, and he was like, "Oh, we need to plan a date." And May goes, "You don't remember we already talked about this? We decided on Flag Day, June 14th. You don't remember that?" He was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, Flag Day. I remember." Mm-mm. And so May sees this might be early onset Alzheimer's and or dementia that he's beginning to suffer from, and she knows that he's going to need her. She knows right then and there that they got a long road ahead of them because I've dealt with Alzheimer's with a relative, and that's not fun. It is a long battle. It is hard. It is stressful. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's I know Alzheimer's is something that really is a big part of all communities, but especially in the African American community, I see it being a lot more prevalent, and a lot of people just are not talking about it and aren't trying to seek out the right steps to deal with it, or aren't even trying to discuss or get help from somebody to see if they can find out how to deal with it correctly. I've seen it in my own family, and I'm glad that hopefully this will be something that they'll talk about or they will unpack during the season. Sophia then calls the basketball player. We then see Sophia calls the basketball player. Basketball player, ex or current or whatever, the Nikki chick answers the phone. "Can I help you?" "Oh, this is Sophia." "He don't want to talk to you, girl. Goodbye." Click. Get your life in order. You've already embarrassed yourself enough, Sophia. Just a mess. Just a damn mess. We then see May at home. She finally eating. Marisol coming in and say, "You ain't eating." "Yes, girl, I'm eating, honey." She was like, "The Lord gave me a sign that I needed my strength for the weeks to come." And basically, I think she's just saying, listen, James is, it's going to be, even if James is able to pass her, we don't know how much longer he will be able to. So she kind of see the writing on the wall that she's probably going to have to pastor and do more around and be there more for James because she sees what's ahead. Jacob and his son are out there fishing. Now, Jacob, when he was in the storage unit at the beginning of the episode, took this little tackle box, bait and tackle box out of the storage unit. I don't know why. But he took his son fishing in the little lake or pond that they got at the Greenleaf Estates. And so he's looking for some new lures. While he's looking in there, he finds this old piece of paper, which happens to be the will for the lady that owned the house that they looked at. Carissa keeps threatening him with the original will. And I don't remember what he said. He said something about somebody last name Davis. But I don't know what it meant. I couldn't piece it together. I'm sure we'll find out. Zora then shows Sophia her phone, and she was like, "Did you send basketball player your titties?" And Sophia's like, "Girl, that ain't none of your business." She was like, "Girl, it's everybody's business. Baby, you are all over Al Gore's good internet." A mess, Sophia. Just a mess. You're a whole ass mess. But I don't feel bad for you either, Sophia, because you was feeling your puss last season too. Yes, lest we forget the end of last season when you was really feeling your puss and you was going in on everybody. Your mama, Zora, anybody who could get some. Don't nobody feel bad for you. Then we see the dude, that pastor who Grace and Darius went and talked to. He calls Grace and he said, "Listen, girl, I got some tea for you, girl. I got some tea." Girl, he gives her the name of some lending company and says, "Girl, we never had this conversation. I ain't gonna tell you no more, but have your little journalist friend look into whatever the name of this little lending company or whatever. That's all the tea you need. Girl, lose my number." And she goes from there. Then we see James. He's at home and he starts playing some of the old records that of probably one of the guys he saw on the wall at Mavis's club. But I think at that point, he realizes as well that there's a problem, that his mind is not where it should be or where it once was, and that, yeah, I think he knows that the Alzheimer's and or dementia is setting in, and now he's trying to he's just listening to some old music and probably going through his head all over, okay, what is this about to look like? How am I going to make it through this? So then we see Grace at the hospital. She's sitting down waiting to see if she's going to get her a chance to see AJ. Finally, we see Jacob roll up at some house, knocks on the door. Who answered the door? Tasha. Tasha Skanks. Okay. He says, Tasha, she's like, what you doing here, Jacob? Excuse me. He says, Tasha, I need to talk to Jacob. Tasha says, not Jacob. Jacob says, Tasha, I need to talk to Basie. Tasha says, Basie? Baby, Basie is dead. It goes on from there. I was like, bitch. Basie dead? Bitch, how did he die? Bitch, what happened? Bitch, what? Does that not clear up the opening for Jacob to get with Tasha? Now that him and Carissa are on the outs, Basie is dead. Does that not clear up the door for Jacob to get with Tasha? I'm just saying. That was the whole episode, y'all. We'll be back in next week, child. Y'all know Greenleaf. Greenleaf does that to you where it'll start off slow and then it'll get better and better and better and better. So, child, we are here for it, y'all. Until next week, child, we'll be right back here, same time, same place. That's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely.